Incident we saw yesterday with Senator Alex Padilla. He, during, or FBI officers physically removed him from a press conference held by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in LA on Thursday as he attempted to shout questions at her. After he was escorted out of the room, he then was put on the ground and handcuffed. What do you make of the incident?
Well, it was surreal to me. I was sitting in the Appropriations Committee room during the markup, watching the clip of Senator Padilla over and over again, trying to understand what had happened. And let me just first say that Senator Padilla and I have known each other since our 20s. He's 5 years older than I am. He is a decent and honorable public servant, and in general is a very mild-mannered person. And I understand the circumstances as follows. In that federal building, Senator Padilla has an office. He wanted to see the press conference with Secretary Noem. He was allowed into the room by law enforcement. There was clearly a lack of communication or coordination between whoever let him in that room and the U.S. Secret Service detail protecting Secretary Noem, because it appears that that detail did not know who Alex Padilla, the senior senator from California, was. And they were protecting Kristi Noem as they are supposed to. Now, here's the thing. I've been interrupted at town halls and press conferences over the years. So in that circumstance, if you know who that person is who is interrupting you, it could be, somebody that you've seen before, somebody that you recognize, you give them the space to speak and you tell them, I'm going to need you to calm down. Otherwise, we're going to have to ask you to leave. And then if they refuse, at that point, you may need to get law enforcement involved. In this instance, it is inconceivable that Kristi Noem did not know who Senator Alex Padilla is. Senator Padilla is the ranking member on the on the immigration subcommittee, directly relevant, the subcommittee of direct jurisdiction that oversees Noem's work. So of course she knew who he was. She absolutely knew who he was. Then after they, get him out and they put him on the ground, they put him in handcuffs. The reporting that I've seen suggested Corey Lewandowski was the one to say, let him go. And, you can read into that whatever you like. And they let him go, now knowing that he's a United States Senator. He's saying all the time, I'm a United States Senator. Others in that room knew who he was, by the way. I'll buy that those Secret Service officers did not, that they were doing their job protecting Secretary Noem. But the other thing is, I was really taken aback by Dan Bongino's post about all this, saying that Senator Padilla wasn't wearing his pin. So here's the thing. We have these pins, members of the House, members of the Senate. We don't have to wear them outside of the Capitol of the United States. I'm wearing mine right now because I wanted to look nice for my interview with you, but I don't have to wear this pin just out there in a community in my district. It is my identification in the Capitol, not outside of the Capitol. And so Senator Padilla was not wearing his pin, but he didn't have to be wearing his pin, for goodness sake. So that wasn't a good reason at all from Dan Bongino's comment. So all that being said, I think that Secretary Noem really, she very easily could have de-escalated the situation. She knew it was Senator Padilla, and she chose to go right on speaking. If you watch that video, she didn't pause for 1 second. She kept speaking. She knew what was happening, and she was fine with it happening. And she didn't even apologize to Padilla after. The whole thing is surreal to me, having known Senator Padilla for 20 years. And as I've said the last couple of days, if you're critical of this administration, they don't want to hear that criticism. This is what we see in countries other than the United States of America. This is not American at all. And if it can happen to a senior U.S. senator, it can happen to anybody.